How about a rainy and chilly start to the weekend here in Southeast Texas? Looking at some video from outside our studios this afternoon around 4 o'clock. Want to start our show tonight with the storm trackers, but as we look outside live right now, the rain pretty much gone for the moment. 50 degrees on our Roofing 911 Skycam network view out in Orange, but 94% humidity is making it feel cold out there in the Storm Tracker Center with meteorologist Kerry Cooper. The rain is done for the weekend, but it is chilly out there, that humidity.
You get the moisture in the air with the cold air, it's just miserable.
Yeah.
You know, we see a few of these type of days. It seems like 3 or 4 times every winter, and it's miserable. I'm glad the rain is over, but we're gonna have a lot of mist, a little bit of fog out there tonight, just a nasty night to stay in. We're at 50 degrees, Roofing 911 Skycam network, upper 40s near 50 up in the lakes. We won't drop a whole lot more tonight. Don't expect much clearing until we head throughout the day tomorrow. So we've got light north and northeast winds around 50 degrees. Radar is quiet. We finally got rid of the rain. That's good news. And Futurecast shows no more rain the rest of the night. Shows mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures may drop to 47, 48 coming up tomorrow morning. A little bit of clearing out to our west. By morning, we do expect decreasing clouds across the area as we head throughout the day on Sunday. That's good news, but enjoy it. We're going to dry weather Sunday, Monday, and then more rain on Tuesday, and the possibility of some severe weather late in the day Tuesday. You'll want to stay tuned for that. Have your complete storm tracker forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, if you're living in Port Arthur tonight, definitely listen up for this. A boil water notice has been issued for residents in the Lakeside Addition area of Port Arthur. That's between Highway 73 and Bayou Drive, also Cashmere Avenue to Cambridge Road. Again, boil water notice, so any water being used should be boiled before drinking or consuming. If you have questions, you can call 409-983-8550. After an argument between a delivery driver and a neighbor, residents in Newton County have been without mail, certain residents I should say, since New Year's Eve. Tonight, a Newton County constable confirms with 12 News they've done an investigation and the issue has been fixed. Constable Howie Wonders in Newton County Precinct 4 told 12 News this all started when a citizen made complaints about a USPS driver speeding through the Indian Lake community. They filed 4 complaints with USPS and they never got a response. So they decided to confront that driver themselves. It led to an altercation and the driver stopped delivering mail to the entire neighborhood. The constable tells us those deliveries resumed today and the neighborhood now has a different delivery driver.
And excuse my French, but I'm mad as Hades and I don't know what to do about it. And I ain't gonna take this anymore. Someone's gonna help us.
Regina Stewart and her family are now going on 4 weeks without running water. They live at Sabine Park Apartments in Orange, where more than a dozen other tenants have had this same problem. At this point, they say they're getting desperate. Residents called 12 News earlier this month, and we've been covering the situation ever since. After a story we did last night, residents woke up today to some relief. Volunteers with the American Red Cross brought water for those in need. The executive director of Southeast Texas tells 12 News they plan to stay in contact for more time and to see what residents need, any more additional needs, I should say. 12 News has made dozens of calls to management trying to get a response. This is the only one we've got. The apartment management company Trinity Multifamily said, quote, the repairs needed are quite extensive due to the age of the property as well as the freeze that happened a few weeks ago. We've received bids and the owners of the property, Sabine Portfolio LLC, are reviewing those bids and making plans to get the work completed. Friday, we were there. Units there marked uninhabitable dwellings by the city of Orange. The director of planning and community development told 12 News they plan to send a letter to the complex with all the violations that they found. Meantime, residents have not been given a timeline on when the repairs might be completed.
I'm here because I skipped school and I'm really excited because I've never been here before.
Attendance was a little lower than usual for a classroom in Koontz on Friday. That's because Robert Best, who you just heard from, skipped school so he could get a chance to win free laser tag for a year. That was the incentive for the first 200 people in line for the grand opening of Main Event in Beaumont. This big opening has been long awaited. People there in line telling us it's about time that an arcade-style venue came here to Southeast Texas. The new location right off I-10 in Beaumont on Rexora Drive is now open for business. They have hundreds of video games, including virtual reality. They also have bowling, billiards, laser tag, among other things, plenty of food options. Again, that location off I-10 officially open for business as of yesterday afternoon. All new here tonight at 10, more classified documents have been found at President Biden's home in Delaware. More documents at the president's house. The president says nothing about the discovery was talked about today after he left church. And according to his personal lawyer, the Department of Justice found 6 more classified documents Friday after a 13-hour search at his Wilmington home. Some of the classified documents date back to his time in the Senate. Other documents from the president's time as vice president. A special counsel is already investigating the classified records found at Biden's home in Washington earlier this month. And that brings us to our Verify segment tonight. Former President Donald Trump, also of course under investigation for classified documents. He claims that while he was president, he used his power to declassify those documents, so he shouldn't be in trouble. But now the question is, who has the power to declassify a document?
Classified documents from Joe Biden's time as vice president have been found in his Delaware home and an old office in D.C. The documents weren't supposed to be stored there under law, prompting a Justice Department investigation. Former President Trump is also under investigation for taking classified documents home with him, though he has since claimed he declassified them. Critics of President Biden say that's not a defense he can use here because a vice president can't declassify information. Verify viewer Ray wanted to know if that's true, so Ray, let's verify. Our sources, Executive Order 13526 and Kel McClanahan, a lawyer who specializes in national security.
There is absolutely zero truth to that claim.
In 2009, President Obama signed an executive order that specifies who's allowed to classify and declassify stuff. It explicitly gives the president and vice president the authority to classify any document. And when it comes to declassifying, it identifies 4 kinds of people who have that authority. The person who originally classified it, their successor, their boss, or a delegate assigned by the head of their agency. In other words, if the VP originally classified a document, the order gives them explicit authority to declassify it. As for documents originally classified by someone else, the president and vice president oversee all executive branch agencies, so they count as a boss here and therefore have the authority to declassify.
It's been a long-standing practice in the executive branch to say that the vice president has delegated authority from the president and should be treated as pretty much the same. So anything the president can declassify, the vice president can declassify.
The only exceptions are certain information dealing with nuclear secrets, which are governed by a separate law, and any instance where the president explicitly forbids the VP from declassifying a piece of information. Meaning we can verify, yes, the vice president can declassify information. But it's worth noting, unlike Trump, Biden has so far not claimed that he declassified the documents found in his home. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.